Welcome back. Traffic authorities will soon use new high-tech equipment, including drones, to enforce road rules. The Transport Ministry launched this year's Easter Road Safety Campaign today. Heidi Jakos is following this story for us. She joins us now live. So Heidi, tell us about these new plans to deal with lawlessness on the roads.
Yes, certainly. I think what's key here, Shahan, is the fact that the Department of Transport has now launched body cameras. Law enforcement officers will now be equipped with body cameras. And this is, of course, going to help law enforcement officers, but also the general public. We do know that there have been many instances where people say that officers take bribes, or there's been an issue with how a particular issue unfolds on the roads, and now the body cameras are going to assist with regards to making sure everything is captured. Of course, this is a very expensive exercise, and the department says that this is something that they've been wanting to do for some time now, but due to the fact that funds were an issue, they have pushed back the project. But we do know that as of today, in fact, we know that law enforcement officers do have the body camera on them. Of course, we were not able to find out how many law enforcement officers have the cameras on them to date, but we do know that in fact it is it's a security issue, and this is why they were unable to give us exact details. But let's listen to the Deputy Minister of Transport, who gives a further indication of this project that's being rolled out.
Our traffic officers will be having body cameras to support their evidence gathering and improve their conviction rate for violation of traffic laws. As RTM rolls out the use of the body cameras within the fraternity over the next 3 years, we aim to improve the level of service that this will execute to serve and protect our road users. These cameras will further serve and act as a deterrent of corruption, effectively preventing officers from soliciting or accepting bribes from motorists. Every interaction with a traffic law enforcement officer has with a motorist will be recorded.
So the issue of evidence gathering seems to be a major talking point for the new technology being deployed here.
Yes, exactly, Shahan. And this is, of course, why we're also seeing the advancement of technology that is being used. And this is, of course, not only to support law enforcement officers, but also to support the general public when on the road and when they feel as though their situation has been mishandled. There is a body camera that can assist with regards to evidence collecting, but also what we understand from the Department of Transport that's indicated how this project is going to be rolled out. The issue of corruption and bribery is a massive one that they have been trying to tackle for years, and they believe that the body camera is going to assist with regards to that. The camera stays on as soon as a law enforcement officer goes on duty. They have to switch the camera on. It does not go off, and the minute it goes off, Shahan, the centres are immediately alerted that a camera has been switched off, and they then deal with the process immediately. We understand that the battery lasts for about 8 hours. That's exactly the amount of hours that a law enforcement officer is on shift for. So the issue here is trying to deal with corruption. The issue here is trying to have as much evidence as possible should anything go wrong. But let's listen to the CEO of the Road Management Corporation that basically oversaw this whole process.
It's critical for us is for evidence purposes that we now can talk of empirical evidence that we have, not a hearsay evidence that the officer has said this. You will understand on a number of occasions we have been subjected to civil litigation where our officers have been accused of having taken a bribe or have taken something into the car. But at the very same time, we just had some other cases where the road user had alleged that our traffic officer had stolen his marital ring, but we got acquitted in court. But those are such of the issues because most of the time, those that we arrest being under the influence of liquor, Nobody wants to go behind bars, so they find some defenses to then begin to implicate our law enforcers. So this is a fair game for both the road user as well as the traffic officer. But more than anything else, it therefore promotes good citizenry in the country.
And Heidi, were you actually able to establish how much this is going to cost and what process was followed to get the cameras?
Well, trust me, Shahan, to try and get the numbers out of CEOs and government. But unfortunately, we were told that this process and project is at a very delicate stage and they are unable to disclose how much this has actually cost. But they basically gave us an example to say that about 24,000 law enforcement officers are going to need these body cameras, so we can kind of get a sense of how much this is going to cost. Of course, they did indicate it's a very expensive process and exercise, and also they want to make it clear that it was a very open process and tender process to get the body cameras. Of course, we are trying to push for further clarity and further information on this, but they said in due course, as the project unfolds and develops, they will be able to provide further clarity and give us the numbers as to how much this actually costs and how worth this project actually is for law enforcement officers and the general public.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Heidi Jokos. Now.